So what's going on, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? Your only friend, these YouTube streets, Porterbox 77. Trying to think of content that I wanted to make, and I thought this would be a good topic to talk about, right? Because I see this a lot on Twitter. I see this a lot in conversations with gamers, whether it's comment sections, YouTube videos, podcasts, yada yada yada. And it's the whole: if a company does something in terms of gaming, that everybody should look at it as positive. It's options. It doesn't impact you. Why you're so negative? You know, it should just be, just this whole stamp that if a company does something, and I'm not talking about, microtransactions, because obviously they get criticized for what reason. I'm talking about anything. Like if a company's trying to expand or, expand beyond, implement something new, that automatically we should just be positive about it. And that is options. And if you don't like it, just don't participate in it. Or just don't do it. It doesn't impact you. And that being negative towards it is frowned upon, is looked at negatively. Some people will call you a fanboy, or you're the type of people that ruins gaming for gamers and all that stuff. All right? So I've seen a lot of those comments. And I'm going to be honest. I think that type of mentality is just downright dumb. All right? To just be positive, to just be Dalai Lama, just to be Dalai Lama. And that if you're not Dalai Lama, then what's wrong with gaming? I don't agree with that at all. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's corporate cucking. You're a corporate cuck. If a company decides this is what we're going to do, oh man, that's positive, that's great. Even though I don't like it, but it's great that you're doing that. No, to me, you're a corporate cuck. And I'll give you a perfect example. It's this whole game streaming thing, right? Am I personally, emotionally bothered by it? No, I'm not going to hang myself or anything like that. Life moves on. A company does it as a company does it, all right? But I'm going to voice my negative dissent on this move by companies. And I'm going to explain why. Been gaming for a long time. Longer than I could remember at this point. Since I was like 5, 6. Over 30-something years, right? And for all the way up until PlayStation 1, or right before the PlayStation 1 gen, I'm a teenager, kid, whatever, just becoming an adult, whatever, throughout the time period. I pretty much was playing on everything. Whether I was able to buy it with my allowance, or my parents bought it, or it was a gift, whatever. All these devices. And majority of the gaming stuff that I owned were failures. There was a few gems. There was a few great consoles. Super Nintendo, Genesis were successful platforms. And then all the way up until before PlayStation 1, right? Before PlayStation 1, before N64, before that generation began and moved forward, majority of the consoles, when you really think about it, weren't that successful. It was either a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. A lot of other products that were there, some of them were memorable, but they were failures. TurboGrafx 16 was pretty much a failure. Neo Geo was a failure. CDI, whatever, was a failure. 3DO was a failure. Master System was a failure. Game Gear was a failure. Nintendo's handheld was successful. You know what I'm saying? Sega CD was a failure. TurboGrafx 16 CD was a failure. I mean, the list goes on. Bazooka, Rob the Robot, U-Force, Power Glove. The list goes on and on and on. There's so many failures. When you look back over 30 plus years, and I'm saying this outside of PC, obviously, within the consoles, the only thing that remained successful and grew were consoles. When you put the focus towards console, the industry got bigger, more successful, right? Then the gaming industry expanded to encompass other different types of gamers, right? Primarily the mobile gamers, right? And then you got the casual gamers playing the Flash games on PC. So you have gaming as a whole, but within gaming, you have your clicks, demographics, different areas, different things that cater to different people. So when I hear people say gaming's for everybody, I agree with that term. Gaming is for everybody because there is something for something somewhere for somebody. But do I think, let's say, God of War, PlayStation God of War, or Halo. We'll use both examples. Do I think those games are for everybody? No, those games are not for everybody. And I'm not saying that in the sense that, ooh, don't touch my game. Don't touch my God of War. Don't touch my Halo. No, I'm not talking about that. All right? Because if anybody wants to play those games, you can get it. Just go out and buy it. I'm not standing guard. Like I'm not in front of GameStop like a British royal guard stopping people from going to the store. But like, no, you can't play Halo. Oh, you can play Halo. Go no, you can I'm it's not a club. I don't have a list and making sure who walks in and buys products. Anybody has access to it. You know, if you have the money, you can afford it, go in and get it. So in that sense, gaming's for everybody because you could go buy it, right? That little the PlayStation right there, it's $199 now, or whatever. Anybody could go get that console if you want it. That PlayStation's for anybody. Gaming's for everybody. But the specific taste of games is not for everybody because not everybody likes certain games, And this is where my rant behind game streaming is. So what's the point of game streaming? So let's knock out the big picture. There's multiple parties doing it. Apple's doing it. Google's doing it. A lot of people are attempting to do it. Sony's doing it with their PlayStation now up to a certain event. Microsoft is all in on theirs with the xCloud. So let's start out the first bat. Let's start out. In my opinion, I see some misconceptions about the advertiser. So we'll start out with one misconception is the whole Microsoft vision of 2 billion gamers, and that xCloud is going to be the method to do it. 2 billion gamers, and it's key that we understood this. So Microsoft says they could get 2 billion gamers or try to reach 2 billion gamers with streaming because now their games is accessible to more platforms and devices that normally can't run these games. Primarily phones, tablets, and low-end PCs and low-end laptops. Right? And because the majority of people own low-end devices, they will never be able to play Halo, Gears of War, or third-party multiplats. Right? Misconception, that statement is not true at all. Yes, you're right. These gamers or whatever who play on phones and tablets will never be able to play these games on the tablet. That is not the same as these gamers will never be able to play Halo. Again, you could get an Xbox for $199. And at the end of the day, let's remove all the fanboy, let's remove all the corporate cucking, the corporate slaving. Subtract all that. Remove the name Xbox, remove the name PlayStation. Stop being fans of these products. It's just a box that connects to a goddamn HDMI cable. That's all it is. You cannot tell me people have issues doing that. How long has the world been using VCRs and DVD players and Blu-ray players? Hell, you guys are buying 4K Blu-ray players. What's a 4K Blu-ray player? It's a damn box. You plug an HDMI cord to it. That's all it is. Console's the same thing. So to say these gamers don't have access to Halo, lies. They have access to Halo. Just buy $199 a box. It's cheaper than the actual phone and tablet that they have. Goddamn phones are now encroaching a standard price of $1,000. Tablets are $300, $400, $500. They're more expensive than the device that plays Halo, than the device that plays Gears, than the device that plays God of War and Spider-Man and stuff. Detroit, Become Human. So, 2 different steps, 2 different statements. All gamers have access to Halo. All gamers, and I'm barring the poor, the homeless, stuff like that. But chances are they're not with internet and tablets anyway. So, I'm not talking about that group, the ones that are financially hurting and stuff like that. That they're trying. I'm not talking about the people who live day to day wondering what they're gonna eat at night. Not those. I'm talking about people who are at least in a decent financial scenario where they could at least buy a console and buy some games. All right. Those people are not forbidden, or there's no obstacle to get these boxes. So everyone has access to Halo. Everyone has access to Gears. Everyone has access to God of War, Spider-Man. You just gotta buy the device to play it on. All right. So, saying you could reach out more gamers that could get Halo, no, the gamers, they could get Halo. It's just a question of, is that the game they want to play? And if they don't want to play those games, then why would they want to buy the device? And that's the key. And I think a lot of gamers lost that sight. Gamers will buy devices because of the games. Because the ultimate goal is the games. It's not really the device in of itself. But somehow that mentality is the device. Okay? It's the games. Now, devices do create groups. PC game is a platform. It's a device. And yeah, they play a lot of the same 30 parts. But when you think of PC gamers, a lot of big popular games on PC don't do well on consoles. It's the RTS games, the strategy games, a lot of the simulators. So, So because of the platform and that device, you see a lot of these games there. Sure, they still get the other third-party multiplats, the big ones, right? And then consoles, you see these games. You see certain games on consoles that are very big, more popular on the console as compared to PC, And then you got the mobile games, the tablets and the phones. You see what's popular there. So that crowd has its games. They're all game devices. Everybody's a gamer, but you can see how the crowd is separated a little bit, right? So Microsoft, maybe Sony, maybe everybody, right? Trying to do grain streaming to get 2 billion gamers. Well, how can any game company have that expectation to get 2 billion gamers when Spotify has not been able to do that? I mean, these guys use terms like Netflix of gaming. Netflix don't even have 500 million people. Netflix has like 120, 150, let's say 150 million subscribers. And that device is a free app that you pay, you don't even have to buy, you gotta buy devices, but Netflix is pretty much on every device anywhere. It's on phones, it's on tablets, it's on Amazon Fire Sticks, it's installed on TVs. So the every TV you buy anyway, because regardless, you need a visual device. So every smart TV has it. It's everywhere. Netflix is everywhere. And they're at about 150 million subscribers. Spotify, we'll use them, another streaming service, right? Absolutely free. You don't even have to pay for it. Yes, they do have a subscription service, which I have, which allows you to download the music, download albums directly to your phone so you can hear it offline. But if you don't want that feature, you don't need it. As long as you're connected to the internet, and you don't even need good internet. You could listen to Spotify on a Cricket internet, McDonald's Wi-Fi internet. You don't even need 5G. You don't even need 4G. 3G will play Spotify, right? You don't even need 4G LTE. 3G, and you work at Spotify, and it's absolutely free, and it's on every device. Absolutely free. And they have around a little over 500 million subscribers. So that's a lot. But even Spotify is not even at 1 billion. And you're talking about a free app, free service that you can listen to on 3G on any device. And they can't even get to 2 billion. So how the hell is gaming, which is much more resource intensive, right? Because you're going to need at least a certain level of internet service. And for phones, they're talking about 5G networks. So you need much more intensive service. How are they supposed to reach 2 billion when Spotify can't? So that's my first thing, right? Now I'm going to tell you the real big thing about the negative, me being the negative Nancy behind this whole thing, is who is these companies trying to appease? They're not trying to appease me or gamers like me, gamers like us. I'm sorry, you can all pretend, but we're all pretty much the same. We're on a dedicated device. We expect a certain level of performance of the device. We expect a certain level of quality from our games, all right? The standards we have for our games, phone gamers don't have that standard. And I'm not saying we're better than them. We're just different, right? I had a conversation. I even posted on Twitter, and I recorded my wife and my daughter, and I asked them this stuff. Are they interested in God of War? Are they interested in Spider-Man and Call of Duty? If it comes down to the phones that they play, because that's what they mostly play on. They mostly play on phones. They said no, they're not interested. It isn't the fact that it's not on phone that makes them interested. It's the games themselves. They're not interested in those particular titles. They even said if they were interested in it, they have access to it. And I don't think my wife and daughter and them are that much different from everybody else, because I see the Facebook posts, I see the stupid requests I get from my friends. They're all playing the same games. All these, mobile gamers are playing the same games, doing the same thing, level 300 and Candy Crush and Bubble Witch and all this other weird stuff, whatever the games. Those are the games they like to play. But I think in our community, the console gamers, PC gamers don't understand that. If Candy Crush came on to your Xbox One X or PlayStation, would you jump? Would that sell like 20 million units? No, it won't. Because the console gamers ain't interested in Candy Crush. That same mentality is the opposite. The way we look at Candy Crush is the way my wife looks at God of War. Yeah, she can appreciate the graphics, because she's been around, but she's just not interested in playing as Kratos. She don't look at the game as interesting at all. She's not interested in that. And I guarantee majority of mobile gamers is not. So with that said, Why should I be happy that Sony, right, or Microsoft, anybody is going to invest billions into this service to try to bring these people game that I know they won't like? They're investing money thinking they're going to blow up, and they don't realize, and I think a lot of you don't realize, that audience don't care about their shit. They don't care. My wife doesn't care. And the people like her don't care. So Sony, Microsoft, maybe Nintendo one day, whatever, are investing billions for these people to bring them games they don't want. So all that money, invest that shit in people like me. Because what's funny is the success of Microsoft, the success of PlayStation. PlayStation, according to reports, whatever, they're having the biggest year ever in PlayStation history again. The most revenue earned, highest operating income, highest profits. They're running on all cylinders. They're making so much money with the PlayStation brand. And it isn't because of my wife or people like my wife or people like my daughter. It's people like me. It's people like us. We're putting Sony on the map. Microsoft increased profits. It's because, again, people like us, not particularly me because I don't buy a lot of Xbox, but a lot of you guys do. You're putting them on the map. It isn't my wife or your wife or these mobile gamers. They're not giving all their money to Microsoft. They're not putting their money into Sony. They're not the ones making these companies grow and getting astronomical profits and astronomical income and revenue in gaming. They're not the ones. We're doing that. But yet these companies want to invest $1 billion in this audience that will not reciprocate. They're not going to play Halo on a tablet. They have no interest in that. They got the games that they want, and they continue to get even more games that they want. They already have what they have. So in the end, and this is where I think it really comes down to, who are these game streaming services for? You want to know who they're really for? They ain't really for the mobile gamers to try to expose them to Halo interest. No, they're for us. Because Microsoft and Sony are going to try to bleed us dry to get more money on stuff we already bought. Think about this. I guarantee majority of the people that's going to play Halo on the tablets, whatever, isn't these new mobile gamers. It's the same Xbox gamers that already have Halo on their console. It's the same guys, except now they could play Halo on the go. They could play on the tablet on the go. They're going to have a little controller, Xbox controller that they attach, and they're going to play in their jobs, or they're going to play in a party, or while they're traveling. They're going to do that. And, you know, and Sony could do the same thing. I don't want this to think that it's exclusive to Xbox, or I'm making fun of Xbox. Sony could end up having the same vision too, where Sony puts all their games on PS Now, day one, and really the only people that's going to play it is us PlayStation gamers, but this time on the go, right? So now we got God of War on the go. We got Spider-Man on the go. We got games on the go. Sounds great, right? Be positive, Puerto Rock. It's options. If you don't like it, just don't do it. But what you guys don't realize, Sony and Microsoft are going to offer this for free. They're going to charge you. Think about this. They're going to charge you to continue to play Halo outside your house when you already paid for Halo inside your house. You already have it. You have Halo. You have Xbox Live Gold. What goddamn more do you want? How about investing billions to make what we already have, what we made you guys rich, better? Let's start with Sony. Can I get fucking dedicated servers in these games? How about we start with that? We brag about the most players. PlayStation has the most users. Well, motherfucker, how about you fucking entertain us users and break us out of fucking 2002 fucking gaming infrastructure? Because we've been playing goddamn fucking bullshit peer-to-peer since the PlayStation 2. And it hasn't changed. You're making more money than ever. So how about less worrying about, Puerto Rock gets to play Spider-Man at his job. How about when Puerto Rock plays in his house, it's a better experience? How about creating a network that actually takes advantage of the 1 gig services that are out there now? You got people with internet of 800 megs, 750 megs. A gig. Yet the download still 24 meg. Takes 16 hours to download a game. How about creating a service that capitalizes that? How about creating, wireless that takes advantage of the latest technology so that way is as close as wired as possible? I understand wireless will never be as as exactly as wired Ethernet connection, but it could be a lot better than what we're doing now. A lot better. You see what I'm saying? Make the experience for the people that's putting you on top of the mountain better. Right? And as you improve the experience, you're going to get new people because every year a new console gamer is born. Every year somebody turns 5, 6, or 7 for the first time. I promise you, every single year some kid is turning 5, 6, or 7. Guaranteed. And that's around the age where they play. Some even start younger. But we'll use the 5 to 7 range. That range, they're a console gamer for the first time. So every year, you're going to get new console gamers. And the question is, how do you keep them engaged as gamers? Or do they end up growing out of it? I don't want to use the word growing out of it because that's a bad word. Do they end up losing interest in gaming as they become older? Or do you engage them to make sure they're lifelong gamers like many of us are? So you're spending billions of dollars on a streaming service, which ultimately isn't really for my wife. You're just trying to sucker me into giving you more money for games I'm already playing in my house. But I get to say, ooh, I get to play on a bus for $10 a month to access this stuff. It's stupid. It's a stupid concept. You're bleeding us dry. And you're really not giving us anything worthwhile in return. Give us the features, give us the services, improve gaming. Do something as basic as stop giving us these broken ass games that need fucking day one patches. How about that? How about you invest those billions of dollars, right? I'll even take this. Invest those billions of dollars into your own tool set so that way it don't take you 5 goddamn years to make a game. That way, we should be improving the technologies and the tool sets to where we can go back to the cycle where you guys are able to develop games every 2 to 3 years instead of every 5 to 6 years. It's crazy, right? That the generation is about to be over, right? And we got one goddamn Rockstar game. One, Red Dead. Red Dead 2. That's it. And it sucked ass. But that's it. There's no other Rockstar game we're going to get. None. Not for this gen. It's over. You're going to get DLC for GTA 5, which was a last gen game. The only authentic current gen Rockstar game, Red Dead Redemption 2. That's it. We got more consoles and hardware than Rockstar games. We had PS4 Vanilla, PS4 Slim, PS4 Pro. We got Xbox, Xbox One S, Xbox One X. 3 consoles, 1 Rockstar game. That's not how it works. That ain't the answer, Sway. On the PlayStation 2, to put this in perspective, especially if you started gaming on PlayStation 3, right? Or 360, in that era. And you don't really know what I'm talking about? On the PlayStation 2, Rockstar, right? Rockstar, by themselves. Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. 3 Grand Theft Autos. But there's more. Red Dead Revolver, which started the Red Dead Redemption. New IP. Manhunt. Manhunt 2. New IPs. The Warriors. Bully. Right? So what? We got 3 Grand Theft Autos, 2 Manhunts, Red Dead Redemption, Bully. What else did I mention? The Warriors? That's at least 8 games. And that's off the top of my head. 8 games during the PlayStation 2 gen. And let me remind you, the PlayStation 2 gen was really only 5 years. 6 if you want to go from PlayStation to PlayStation. Because the PlayStation 2 launched in 2000, Xbox 360 launched in 2005. So that's a 5-year gen. But if you want to use the PlayStation 3 as the metric, 2000 to 2006. 6 years. 8 Rockstar games. That's more than 1 Rockstar game a year if we use specifically PlayStation. 2000, 2006. 6 years, 8 Rockstar games. That's more than 1 game a year. That's about 1.2 games a year from Rockstar. At a minimum, every single year we were getting a Rockstar game. Every year. Never mind all the other companies that was flooding it. Now we're most likely getting more hardware and talk. How about we work on that? Fuck game streaming and taking it home. How about you just give me more games? Invest in your tool set to create games faster. But no, we don't think about that. I should be here positive. Oh man, game streaming is a great option. Somebody's gonna like it. Somebody's gonna like it. Even if I don't worry about it. It's not for me. I could ignore it. Good on everybody. While I sit here on peer-to-peer network. Even though guys like us are putting these consoles on the map. Then, we talk about Microsoft made $10 billion in gaming. Sony made $17 billion in gaming. How the fuck you think they got there? They didn't get there because of my wife is playing their games. It's us. So yes, I want Sony to invest their games in us because we're the ones that are putting them on the map. But no, they want to put this whole system for a group of people that don't give a damn about their library. Because if they gave a damn, they would just go to a store and pay $200. That's it. It's not hard to play a PlayStation game. It's not hard to play an Xbox game. I don't want to hear the whole, it's multiplayer PC. That's besides the point. None of that matters. What matters is if you want to play Halo, an Xbox is fucking $200. And here's the crazy part. It's actually cheaper than mobile gaming because most of these guys get phones every goddamn year. You only need to get this console once and it's good for at least 5 years. One console is good for 5 years. Even if you did pay the launch price of $400 or $500. It's a $400 or $500 investment for the whole gen. You don't have to upgrade to these mid-gen refreshes. I don't have a Pro. That's I don't even have a Slim. That's the base vanilla PS4. And it's fantastic. While my goddamn iPhone 7, the modem went out, and Apple fucking store, retail store, wants to charge me 360 euros, because I'm in Europe, to fix it. So now, and this is one of the reasons that triggered this video, too. I'm going to be honest. That was the trigger. A goddamn phone. Because I'm in the Apple store, right? And they told me, hey, the modem's broken to the SIM card, and we have to replace the major piece. So it's going to cost you 360 euros, right? Or you could just buy a new phone, and we'll knock out 200 euros. So the phone would be 600 euros. So brand new iPhone XR, whatever it is, 600 euros, or get my iPhone 7, which is like 2 gens behind, for 360 euros. So to make it round off in dollars, $700 versus $400. So for extra $300, I get a brand new phone. But here's the thing that pisses me off. What the hell am I paying $700 for? What am I even paying $360 for? My phone, I just need to make a phone call, tweet messages on iMessage and Instagram. That's not worth $700. This PlayStation's $199, and the experience blows phones away. It's incredible. The gaming and entertainment is superior than a phone. Everybody's like, oh, but a phone has HDR, retinal scanning cameras. Motherfucker, all y'all do is take pictures of either your penis or pizza. We're not out there Jacques Cousteauing in the Alps taking these amazing pictures and submitting it to freaking, whatchamacallit, those fucking, animal magazines and shit. We're not filming fucking Planet Earth Part 3. We're not doing that. Most of us take a picture of a goddamn food, dick pics, or I'm sorry, some of you dudes are at the DMV doing selfies. Oh, look at me. I'm getting my license for the first time. Hashtag adulting. That ain't worth $700-800 goddamn dollars. And that's what triggered this damn video. Like, who is Sony, Microsoft really attracting here? You're attracting the wrong audience. You're focusing on the wrong goddamn audience. Look at the people who got you to $10 billion a year and increasing year over year. Look at the people where you got $17 billion a year and increasing. I know Sony is 40% year-over-year growth. Who are those people doing this? That's who you go after. So they can stay. And they're going to keep buying more stuff. How about something as simple as DLC from games 3 years ago not costing $30 anymore? Like I just finished being Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Loved the game. Enjoyed it. I was going to buy the DLC. It's still $30. And the game came out in 2015. 3-year-old DLC, and it cost $30. The DLC is more expensive than the base game. I could get the base game for $15. How about we fix stuff like that? Besides worrying about trying to get my wife to play God of War on her phone. And this is why I'm negative Nancy to the BS. Positives on the thing that they should be focusing on. Investments on the things they need to push ahead. Take care of the consumer that puts you on the limelight. Don't think we're just going to be here just to be here. Sony, remember, PlayStation 2, 150 million. PlayStation 3, 80 million. If that doesn't tell you, we will dump you like a Thanos snap. I don't know what is. I don't agree with this streaming service. I think we're going after an audience that don't care, which means the audience that's the only audience left to make these services successful are the ones already buying your games. You're just bleeding more money from us to play the same games we already have access to at home. But now it's, but you can take it anywhere. $20 a month, please. F you. Yes, I'm negative Nancy. Because I'm avoiding my dissenting opinion. That's not what I want. And that's not what most of us want. And I don't know why console gamers are co-signing this. Oh, I know. Because in social media, you want to project yourself as the Dalai Lama. You got to look like Mother Teresa. It's got to be positive. It's positive. We're all positive. We all are happy. Gaming is glorious. Be one with everybody. Just love everybody. Love it. Even if it has nothing to do with you or there's no benefit to you, it's okay. Just ignore it because everything's for everyone, everywhere, at all times. No. You ain't suckering me in this bull crap. But anyway, that's my goddamn half-hour rant. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Or am I one of those negative Nancys that's just killing gaming because I'm jealous or whatever? Am I an old dinosaur? Let me know what you think. Let me know if what points you agree or disagree with. Hit me up in the comment section. This is your boy Porter Rock 77. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like it, check out my past contents. And again, please don't forget to like and retweet it across all forms of your favorite social media. Facebook, Twitter. Spread out the knowledge, all right? I'm going to try to do a podcast this Friday. You guys take care. Peace.